How many games will the Derek Carr-led New Orleans Saints win in 2023? What's going on, Saints fans? It's Mitch here of the Bottom Line View, here to determine how many games the Saints will win in 2023, what their record will be, going game by game, pick by pick, week by week, analyzing the Saints 2023 NFL schedule. If that sounds good, don't forget to spike the like button and let me know in the comment section below how many games you think the Saints will win this season. Let's go. The Saints are easily one of the toughest teams to project this season. I could easily see them winning the NFC South. I could also easily see them disappointing, like they have the last couple of years. They certainly still have enough talent, but a lot of that talent is getting older. Some of that talent has been injured too often. So there's a lot of wild cards here that I'm trying to take into account. But these are my best guesses. Beginning with week number 1 at home. If you're healthy, I see this as a win. Saints, pass rush, taking advantage of a weaker offensive line in the Tennessee Titans. Typically, the Saints have been very good versus the run. They should be able to handle Derrick Henry. And on the other side, yeah, the Titans defense is certainly tough, but I feel like with the amount that you're going to have the football in this game, because I don't see the Titans scoring more than like 17 on you, I think you should be able to win this game. I think it would be a major disappointment if you lost this game at home. So I'm going to take the Saints. Week 2 versus the Carolina Panthers. This is one where I think you look at it and say, it could go either way. It's Monday Night Football. It's early in the year for Bryce Young. Will he be used to the NFL game yet? He's going to have to play a tough, mature defense that's kind of creative in New Orleans. And then, of course, you have Derek Carr, who's a pro, who's been there. He's been on primetime. He's been on the road on primetime. He's been in these games. So the Saints certainly have an argument to win this game. I think with Carolina, they're a young team on the rise. They've got a lot of their best players just entering their prime. And I could see a major rise in production from some of their players. I think Carolina is going to win this one, but I wouldn't be shocked if it went to the Saints. Like, I think the Saints will split with the Panthers. So I'm going to take the Saints when they're at home, and I'll take the Panthers when they're at home in front of their Monday night crowd. Week number 3, I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers here. I don't really have a strong feeling about this one other than the fact that it's in Green Bay, and typically Derek Carr doesn't do too well in these type of outdoor games versus a team like the Packers that have a pretty good pass rush, a pretty good secondary. I think this will be another grinded out affair, and I think for New Orleans in general, I understand there's upside with their offense, but I think in some of these games their defense is going to have to win it. And I'm just not sure if they have the dominance at the line of scrimmage the way they used to. I think this is a game that's going to be a big test because the Packers certainly can run the football. The Packers certainly have a good offensive line. So can they get after Jordan Love? That's going to be a question. Week number 4, I have you beating the Bucs. Typically, you've beat the Bucs over the years. Now, last year, somehow, some way, they were able to sweep you. Like, it was kind of wild. The first game, obviously, a lot of turnovers. The second game, just I don't even know. Tom Brady magic, some bad decisions by the Saints, but I think New Orleans at least wins the first matchup at home with Baker Mayfield as the quarterback for the Bucs. Then week 5, you travel to New England. I think the Patriots pick up that win. Belichick typically has done a good job at slowing down Derek Carr, and the Patriots defense is elite. Their offense should be a lot better this year. I think the Patriots, the Saints, are probably viewed on a similar level this season, but I'm going to take New England at home in their environment. I don't know why it won't let me click. Okay, there we go. Week number 6, the Houston Texans. This could be a tricky game. This is a tricky game, but that Saints defense versus a rookie quarterback, you have to think the Saints will come through. So I'm going to take New Orleans there. Week 7, I actually think the Saints upset Jacksonville. This is one of your upset victories at home, in front of your crowd, wild, loud, all that stuff. Trevor Lawrence. I think New Orleans will have a big defensive performance here, and Derek Carr in the dome will outduel Trevor Lawrence. That's my prediction for that game. Week 8, this is an either way type of game. I could see the Saints dropping this game to the Colts because of Richardson's ability to run. The Colts coaching staff obviously comes from Philadelphia, and as we've seen over the last couple of years, the Philadelphia Eagles have given the Saints defense a lot of problems, especially when it comes to Jalen Hurts. So if they can really dive into that and push those buttons, I feel like the Colts in Indianapolis, also on the back of a good defense, I think the Colts can win this game. So I'm actually going to say after you upset Jacksonville, you get upset by the Colts on the road. Week 9, I think again, this is another challenging matchup from that mobile quarterback standpoint. I don't think your defense is the fastest defense. I don't think it handles mobile quarterbacks the best. This is one that I could see you dropping as well. In New Orleans, though, I mean, tough for me to say that you're going to drop 2 in a row to kind of inferior opponents. So I'm leaning towards the Saints to pick up this win. Then you've got the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Vikings win in Minnesota. It feels like no matter the defense, they seem to put up points with Justin Jefferson and company. And their defense, I don't think will be great, but they do make some plays, sacks, turnovers, especially with Brian Flores there. He's going to be very aggressive. At home, I'm going to take the Vikings. Then you have the bye week. Then you return from the bye week playing Atlanta. I think the Falcons you'll split with. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You could say that you win the last game, you lose the first game, whatever. You could do it either way, but I do think you split with the Falcons. I will say on paper, if the Saints are as good against the run as they typically are, then I think that it helps them on paper. Like the Falcons are a good matchup for them because they want to run the ball, 20 to 30 times a game. They want to run it with Bijan. But then again, Kyle Pitts, Drake London could be challenging matchups. And their defense, I think, is a lot better this year than years past. So I feel like they're both pretty competent teams, both be fighting for this division. I think they'll split. I think the Detroit Lions beat you. I think the Lions know you very well, very familiar. A lot of their coaches are from New Orleans, so they know the ins and the outs of the coaching staff and kind of the way that you teach. And then on top of that, I feel like they're just a more talented team. Their defense, maybe you can outduel them if everyone's healthy offensively, but I feel like their offense is really tough to stop, especially if they can dictate the terms up front, which they have a very good offensive line. Jared Goff has proven to beat the Saints in that building, so I think the Lions win. Then in Week 15, that is an either-way game for New Orleans. I think this one's tough. I could see it going either way. I, right now, feel like the Saints are probably going to win that game, but I could change my mind against the Giants. Again, another guy that can move as a quarterback. Saquon's going to be a challenge. I think they beat you a couple years back in your building. This is a game that I think Derek Carr is going to have to come through. He's going to face a lot of pressure from Don Martindale. Can he get the ball out quick? Can he make quick decisions? Can Chris Olave and Michael Thomas, hopefully if he's still healthy, win on their routes quickly, get open, beat man coverage, and make plays? I slightly lean towards you guys in that environment. Week 16, I got the Rams in kind of a wild upset. This might not happen, but it's a Thursday night short week after playing a pretty good team in the Giants. You're going to probably be sleepwalking into this game. I don't think the Rams are going to be very good, but I do feel like Sean McVay is just going to have some masterclass performances. I think this could be one of them. And then in Week 17, I haven't really decided, honestly. I keep flipping back and forth whether or not you're going to split with the Bucs or sweep the Bucs. I kind of feel like you're going to sweep the Bucs. That's kind of what I feel, but I could see that going either way again. So right now I have you at 9-8. I could see you at about 9-8, 8-9. That's honestly where I see you. I don't see a big window for the Saints. I feel like it's definitely between 10-7 and 7-10. I don't think you're going to be any better than that. I don't think you're going to be any worse than that, depending on injuries and things of that nature. With Derek Carr in there, I think he stabilizes quarterback, but I don't think he's going to be elite or anything like that. He'll be about average. I also feel your defense could regress just a touch this season with the age for certain players. I see 8-9, 9-8. And depending on some of these matchups, you could flip it either way. Right now, I have you tied with Carolina for the best record in the division. I have Carolina just in my mind slightly being over you, just a touch. But I do believe I have the Saints in a wild card position right now. Let me know what you guys think about that. Comment below your opinion, your record for the Saints. And Gronk, spike that like button. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.